This podcast is brought to you by Podspot Events.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a contestant on Big Brother? What about falling in love on a reality TV show? Or the longer term impacts going on reality TV can have on your mental health? Well, we've got the perfect guest for you on this episode. Pili Nemer is a personal trainer based in Canada. In 2015, Pili was a contestant on Canadian Big Brother, eventually finishing 5th on the show. In this episode, we talk about Pili's experience in the Big Brother house, including falling in love with fellow housemate Kevin, and all the dirty tricks the producers would use to mess with the housemates. We also talk about life after the show, the challenges, the loss of identity, and dealing with heartbreak. I hope you enjoy this episode, and as always, remember to give us a follow on Instagram, at the Bondi Podcast, to stay up to date with all of our guests and episodes, and you'll find all of our episodes on Spotify. Cheers! Pili, welcome to the Bondi Podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You've been here a few days in Bondi now. What is your favourite thing about Bondi?
Okay. I really love how people are so active. They really care about their physical health. You go out and early in the morning and you see people walking and just exercising. I love that.
Is it not like that in Canada?
Not as common. No.
No, why not?
Like it's, I feel like often I'm the only one out at 6 a.m. walking. Yeah. Here, the whole town is out.
If you're up and out at 6, you're late.
Yeah. I'm here. I'm late.
Yeah. 100%.
People are super active, and I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need to move back, mate. Come back and spend a bit more time here.
I might have to. Yeah. It's quite convincing.
Just a quick word from me, guys. We're making some progress, Bondi Podcast listeners. We're up to 450 followers on Spotify and 150 subscribers on YouTube. I would love to get both of those numbers closer to 500 across both platforms. So I've got a quick favor to ask. If you haven't, could you please quickly pause this episode, go and hit the subscribe and follow buttons on both platforms. It really helps with the show and ensures we can keep bringing quality guests and episode to you guys. Cheers. Right, Pili, we're going to get right into it.
All right, let's do it.
Big Brother Canada, Season 3, 2015, 9 weeks in the Big Brother house.
Was it 9 weeks?
9 weeks, 63 days, apparently. According to the internet, 63 days. That's 9 weeks, isn't it? That's 9 weeks. And you finished 5th.
I did.
What did life look like before you went into the Big Brother house?
It just
starts with a big sigh.
What did life look like before going on Big Brother? Life was pretty ordinary. I mean, I was living at home. I was 22 years old, living at home with my mom. I was just living life. I didn't have a job. I wasn't a Canadian resident or citizen, so I didn't have a job.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I was
in studying?
School. Yeah, I was in school. I was in college. I went to Holland College, and I took sports management.
Okay.
And that's it. I didn't graduate then because Big Brother happened, so I had to take a pause. And 3 months later, I came back and finished it. Graduated.
Why did you go into the house?
I kind of applied not really meaning to get on the show. I went into auditions just because I wanted to meet some of the people, some of the casting, not the producers, the people that were on the show the previous year. So I just went to meet them just for fun. And I happened to be in the town that the auditions were happening. And by shot, I filled out the application and I went in, 5 minutes in, got out, 3 minutes later, they called me.
So what does the audition process actually look like?
So it was held at this bar in Halifax, and you just show up in the morning, 7 a.m, doors opened, and you just grab a sheet, you fill it out with your information, just basic information, name, phone number, email address, type thing. You line up, and then you go in groups of 5, and they just ask you 3 questions. You just make an first impression. Producers, they like you, they don't, and then you walk out. Thank you very much. Here's your number. And I was standing. The people that I went to meet, they still weren't there. So that's what I was like. And it was really it was pouring that day. So I went into auditions with my friend Kayleen, I dragged her with me. I was like, let's go, haha, fun. It's all fun and games until you freaking get a call. So we went in separately, and then we came out of it. We were waiting for these people while it was raining, and I got a phone call. Hi, Pili, it's production from Big Brother Canada. I was like, holy shit.
So how long after leaving the audition?
Like 2 minutes. What? Like I was still there. Yeah, it was really fast. Like really fast. Yeah.
You must have made a hell of an impression.
I guess.
What question? Like, what did you say? What questions did they ask you?
I just said, my name is Pili. I have 9 siblings. I was born in Mexico. Like, nothing. I mean, just me.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, they called me and they asked me to come the next day, camera ready.
What does camera ready mean?
So just like, do your hair. Okay. Like, look presentable.
Did you not look presentable on the first day?
I mean, I look like this.
All right.
It's like sweats, who I am. Just like casual. They also don't want it, like they didn't want me to have a lot of pattern on my clothing, just or like wearing white or something to do with cameras, things like that.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay.
Production stuff. Yeah. So then the next day I went in to a hotel and we did like a half an hour to an hour interview.
With who?
Producers, just production people.
How many?
How many what?
Producers? Like how many people are interviewing you?
I think 2. Yeah. It's so long ago. I'm like, it's talking about it. It's just reminisce everything. I haven't gone into details like this in a long time. But yeah, 30-minute, 1 hour interview. Just talked about me. They just wanted to get to know me, see if I fit the personality, the puzzle pieces that we're trying to get for the season. Clearly I did. So after that, I went home. So this happened in October of 2015. Holy cow. So after that, it's a long process. So obviously they kept in touch through email, phone calls.
Could you tell anyone?
No. I had to keep it super confidential. Yeah, there's a lot of paperwork. Yeah, you sign a booklet of like, shit. Yeah, I didn't read through it. I just signed my life away. You get to have a what's it called? Like a keeper. Oh my gosh, what's that person called? Like a
minder?
Oh no, why can't I think of the word? No. Like my mom was my person to just do
like a guardian?
Like a guardian, something like that.
Yeah.
So you get to do that because just in case anything that happens while you're playing the game or they need something, because sometimes like if you win a competition and you need to get like a letter from your family members or like a video, whatever you need, they get in touch. Like that's them.
Oh, it's like your contact.
Yeah, your contact person. Yeah. So I told my mom from the get-go, like, hey mom, this is what's happening.
Was she in Canada or down in Mexico?
No, she was in Canada.
All right, okay.
It's really funny. I'll give you a quick background. So I failed my driver's license 2 times. I was being an idiot, just driving in the snow, driving too fast for the freaking speed limit, whatever. And so long story short, I was like, screw it. I don't want to do it again. I'm over it. And I was like, no, book it. 3rd time's the charm. Just book it and you'll get it out of the way. So the only available time was October. And that is the reason I was in the town for the auditions. So so it's funny. 'Cause every time that I've done my road, like the previous times, I went in and I was like, you're so nervous. That's all you're thinking about. You're like, fuck, I can't fuck this up. You're just all in. And the time that I did it, it was after the auditions because it was that day. So I had to go from the auditions to the drive. So as I'm driving, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, holy fucking shit. What? So I at this point, I was in such a high that I just didn't care about the driver's license. Like I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna
whatever. I'm gonna be famous. I'm going to Big Brother.
Sadly, yes.
I don't need a driver's license. I'm gonna have drivers.
Exactly. So driving to the test, I was just like, fuck it. I was inclined on. I was so excited, and that's the last thing I was caring about, having a fucking license. I'm so sorry. I should not be swearing.
Swear away.
And so I get in the car and I just do my thing. It's just so funny how things work, that when you are not stressed out, when you're just relaxed, things are just, they just happen. Yeah, I nailed my test. Like, I just got it.
Wow.
Because I was just, yeah. So that was just, it's just funny. And I like to think that things happen for a reason.
Definitely.
Like, I wouldn't have done Big Brother, like, not a chance, if I didn't have the driver license, like the driving test. Like, why would I be there? You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the story.
So how long until, so the producers have told you, yeah, you're going in.
Mm-hmm.
How long till you actually go into the house?
You're going to sequester.
Sorry, what's sequester?
Sequester. So before the show starts,
It's like a holding period.
like, they hold you for, like, some people they hold for a week, some people they hold for 2 weeks. It depends where you're from. Like, it just depends, honestly. Yeah, luckily I was only there for a week. So you're in a hotel room, isolated from life. Like, they take your phone, everything. Like,
Can you access the internet, or
no,
is there a TV?
So when they take you from your house, they help you pack and everything, but they take everything away from you. Like, they get you to change into a t-shirt and shorts, sandals. Like, there's nothing. You can't take anything with you. Like, nothing. Not paper, no pens, obviously not cell phones. Nothing. Nothing that can give you contact or in touch with the outside world.
What did you pack?
Well, I just packed clothes and, like, makeup, just stuff that, just nothing else. So Sequester is, you're going to a hotel room. Again, the TV, like, everything is unplugged. The only thing that works is the hotel phone, I don't remember if they just left certain lines open. I don't know. They must have just left a few lines open, just because then you would have been able to get in touch with other cast members, and that would have been not allowed. You know what I mean?
You would have been able to, like, randomly
I feel like you
someone's
could have,
hotel room. Okay,
yeah, because you're in the hotel room all day for 5 days or a week. It depends. And so during this process, you're doing your bios, everything, pictures. So there's days that you have a lot of things on the list. Like, you have a lot of things to do. They come in and they get you ready. They get your camera ready. They put your dress on and they film you. Other days you have to do this, the psychological exam, testing. So you do have activities to do during this period of time. But a lot of days it's just boring. Like, it's just, you get fed. So you get your meals and everything delivered to your room. You can get alcohol. So a lot of people saved up a couple beers, because then there's a big interview or like your bio, and then you want to, have a little buzz for that. But yeah, 5 days of that.
Could you exercise?
Yeah.
Just in the room?
Yeah, just in the room. They had, like, little weights and bands in a cart. So if you call for, like, hey, can I have you schedule it, and you would get it driven up, and you could do that. Yeah.
Nice.
You could also ask for friends. Hey, can I have friends and, like, play board games with? So, like, people from production, they would come up for an hour.
Can a little random person from production come and play board games with me?
Yeah.
Did you?
I don't remember, but I don't think I did that. I mean, I could be wrong at this point. I don't know.
I think it's something you would do.
I actually don't know if I did it. I can't remember.
I think you definitely do it now.
I'm. If you're watching this and you're that person, and if you came up to my room, there you go. I don't remember. But I mean, you're so lonely, you know? But I was only there I was there for a very short amount of time, maybe 5 days. So I feel like I was busy doing things. Like, I didn't even really feel the loneliness of it.
You see the psychological tests that they made you take? Were they purely for their benefit, or do they, like, share the results with you?
No, it was just for them, just to make sure you're in a good place, in a headspace. I don't think, I mean, this is nothing against the show or the brand or anything at all, but I just going through the experience, and now 9 years later, and seeing how much is screwed up with my mental health, and not just me, like, everyone. They should have a minimum age to apply. Like, you should be at least 25. Like, there was a few years ago, they had a girl, I think the youngest contestant was 18 or 19 years. Like, that's so young. Your brain is still developing. Like, it's so, you're so immature. You're still growing. Yeah, I don't like that. It did a lot of damage to me. That's for sure.
We can definitely get into that. How did you day one? So how did you feel like in the build up to going into the house?
The day that I went in?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fun story. So, because our season had this. So, our season, I don't know if to date, because I didn't really watch this season that it's airing right now, but our season was the season with the most amount of twists. And fans didn't like that because we couldn't play the game because every single week things got twisted and things kept getting thrown at us. So, long story short, we walked into an empty house. No furniture, no food, no nothing. Yep. So obviously the day off, you're excited, but you're nervous. Like you're going in to meet 16, 15 strangers and the show's starting. So yeah, there's a lot of emotion. You're excited to get out of the room and just, there's a lot of emotion. And so I remember I had no appetite that day. I was just so nervous and just anxious. So I was like, no, I don't like, I'm good, like. And because they drive each person individually in vans into the studio, into the house. And I remember I was in the car and this girl from production, she's like, eat. And I was like, no, I'm just not hungry. Like, I'll eat later. And she's like, no, eat. She knew what I was getting myself into. I didn't, obviously. So I was like, no. Anyway, didn't eat very much. And due to stress and everything, I go into the house and there's no food. So we actually didn't get... I think we lived like that for 3 days.
No food.
No food. We had to fight. So eventually we had to fight for our food and our clothes. So we slept in the clothes. All us girls had professional makeup on. We didn't even have makeup remover. We had to just soap and water. Yeah, we were in rough shape for the first 3 days. Like we didn't have anything to give production for content because there's no fuel, no energy, nothing.
When you say you had to fight for food, what do you mean by that?
So we had to physically... Just kidding. Boxing gloves are on. No, we just had to do tasks. So we had to hold this massive balloon between 5 people or whatever, and without touching the ground for 5 hours, and the clock was on. If we dropped it, the clock started over. That was one of them. And then another thing we had to do was we got all these crazy like construction outfits on, and then we had to literally all of our stuff, beds, everything was kept in a room. So we had to take it and like build it and just put the house together.
And did you get some food?
Yeah, we did get some food.
It's okay.
3 days later, we got some food.
Shit.
Yeah, that's right.
At any point in those like first 3 days, you're like, what the fuck have I got myself into?
Yeah. So so the very first day that we got in the house, we actually had a competition, and 2 people were nominated for eviction.
Straight away?
Mm-hmm. And I was one of them.
Why?
I walked, because you walk into the house in groups of 5. And I was in the last group, so I had the least amount of time to talk and connect with people. And we got in, maybe we had a couple of minutes to talk and introduce ourselves, and then we jumped right into a competition. I didn't win it. I did not want to win it. And yeah, so this girl just had no connection. She talked to me the least, so
she won.
Yeah.
She won the.
So she was one person won the HOH, the head of household, and that person nominated 2 people up for eviction. And then these 2 people that were nominated plus more that were selected got to play the power of veto to save, like for a chance to save themselves. And that happened. One person took themselves off the block. And so this person that won the power of veto, that person that won the original HOH had the power to replace that person. So the one person, and that was me.
Wow. So
it was a back door.
Wow.
Do you watch Big Brother?
I used to watch it like back in the UK, like the really early series. Like it started in the UK like early 2000s.
Okay.
So I like watched it, a lot of it like through the early 2000s.
So you know what I'm talking about,
like
the terms and stuff. Yeah.
I don't like. I'm not familiar with a lot of these like new terms like alliances and things like that. Yeah. But I kind of get what you mean though when you say like,
So these terms are like Chinese to you.
No, like I can understand what you mean. Yeah. So
so this girl put me up, and so it's like a back door because then you don't have a chance to fight.
Yeah. Okay.
Because then I didn't really go in to win because I wasn't on the block. But then when you get backdoor, like you're like, that's it, right? Like it's like a stab. So yeah, no chance. So then the two people that are nominated for eviction night get to fight. Like they get all week to make like build relationships and plead their cases, fight for the spot in the house. You know, it's a social game at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So we want to make as many connections as possible. And yeah, so I was against this older woman. She was in her 40s at the time. And yeah, so the first 3 days when we had no food and I was on the block, I was like, I thought I was like, what did I get myself into? But at the same time, at that point, I was not in pain, but I was just miserable. I was like, ugh, this is not, I don't want to really do this. Like, I just didn't want to. I wasn't feeling it.
If I get kicked out, yeah, it's not the worst
so
thing.
that's exactly, I wasn't giving up, but exactly. I was like, this is, if I go home, I go home. Like, I don't mind. It's also night or like week 1. You don't really have relationships, like really deep relationships with people. Like you're just like vanilla at this point, 50-50. Obviously after that, as you build connections and you really get invested in everything, it gets harder to leave because of relationships and you're deeper in the game and etc. But yeah, at this point I was like, whatever. But then at the end of that week, I had the votes to stay. Like I was a popular one out of the chopping block. But Canada, that was another twist. Canada got to vote. Canada had the final vote of who stayed and who left. So when that was announced, the night of eviction, so I knew I was staying, right? Like all my people told me, like, you're good, Pili, like you don't have to worry about it. Mm-hmm. And so as soon as we heard Canada, I was like, oh fuck. I feel like I literally looked around there. I was like, bye guys. Yeah, I mean,
why did you think that though?
I was just kind of making a guess, but I don't know. Like I just don't know what Canada was gonna think. I always undersell myself. I'm like, ugh, there's no chance they're keeping me. She had huge boobs. I was like, guys are gonna love it. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was between like a joke or subconscious, like, ugh, this is. I don't know. I just said goodbye. Anyway, Canada obviously kept me.
Do you know why?
No, I don't. Because of my personality.
I read somewhere earlier.
What did you read?
That it was due to your charming diary room encounters.
Interesting. Okay.
Do you remember any of those going into the diary room in that first week?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What did you talk about?
Well, it was very heavily about like trying to stay or like pitching to people or what was I saying or what was my game plan to stay. But I know my personality. And just living in the house for that week, like with like along the houses and stuff, I knew this girl did not have a freaking connection. Like I became really good friends with a lot of people right out from the get-go, right? So I knew I had a chance, but with Canada, I couldn't tell you. I did nominate 2 guys up for eviction the very first night because we were all HOH the first night. That's right. And so I got 2 guys up, and I think Canada respected that a lot. Yeah.
Did you have a game plan going into the house?
Nope. I didn't know what Big Brother was. I didn't really know. I'm not joking. And I'm not even ashamed to say it because I didn't know where I was getting myself into. I went in to have fun. This is 2015. Little Pili, innocent. Like, I had no freaking clue. I didn't even know how much $100,000 really was. At this point, I was like,
Is that the prize money to win? Right.
I win 100K, yeah. Okay. But yeah, I was very, very, very innocent. Just a young little girl going to a show. I had no strategy. I didn't really play the game. If I'm being honest with you, I would never, ever go back. But I do wish I played like now or older because I made a fool of myself. Like I just didn't have anything going on, you know? Like the Pili that people know through this show is very different than Pili is now.
In what sense?
Oh, so many things. I mean, 10 years later, come on. What are you laughing at?
Just you.
Well, I was 22, and like I said, I didn't have anything going on. I was just very unaware, and yeah. Now I have a business. I know what I'm talking about.
A
I'm
bit more
very
streetwise.
confident.
Yeah,
What?
a bit more streetwise.
A
Now.
little bit, just a little bit.
So when you're in there, does it does it feel like you're in a game?
Yes, but it becomes your reality, right? Like every single day, like you don't go to sleep thinking, what am I gonna do tomorrow? Or or what am I gonna wear? Or what? No, it's like, what the fuck is gonna happen tomorrow? Like it's the stress level is at all time high all the time. And it's a roller coaster, right? Because of twist and like you can go from head of household to like getting back doors. So it's like you're really excited and really happy, and 2 minutes later, boom, bombs are dropped on you. Like it's so all over the place. Yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard.
Did you ever get to be head of household?
I did.
What does that mean?
Head of household. You win a comp, and so you get to choose who you get to talk to strategy with people. You get to it's almost a way to you can use it to gain people's not trust, but get people to tell you what they're thinking, what their head is at. You know, like spill the tea a little bit, because you have the power to nominate like 2 people, whoever you want. But when I did it, I went as head of household, but I just did what my allies told me to do. Like that's what I mean. I was like, who the heck do I nominate? I like everyone. Like no one's coming after me. Like it was just, yeah.
So how do these alliances come about?
You just make them your own.
By alliance, it's just like your friends.
Yeah. You click with someone. You're like, let's work together. I got your back. You got my back. Whatever happens, we'll fight for each other. Yeah, it can be. There are some really good and strong alliances. There are some really weak ones.
So why would you need an alliance? Like give me a situation
because
where
then you
like,
have each other's back. So
in what sense, like in what scenario do you need to have someone else's back?
So let's say I'm having a conversation with someone else, and I'm in an alliance with you, and they are bringing up your name to potentially backdoor you, or they're talking negatively about you. I can come up and be like, hey, not necessarily defend you, like, hey, Chris has nothing to do, but maybe persuade their decision, or like swing, kind of like play around with it and just get your name out of their mouth type of thing. Just defend each other and have each other's backs. And like if you're playing a competition and I'm not chosen to play, so I'm not playing the competition, I'm gonna win it so that you don't go up, or to defend you or whatever.
And did you have to do that much when you were in the house?
No, because I was that's so bad. I had no idea what was going on. Like I don't think I tried talking game a couple times, and people were just like, okay, Pili, whatever. I tried.
The adults are talking.
Yes. I tried lying a couple of times near the end. That did not work out.
You definitely can't. Your face.
No, I can't.
Yeah,
I just can't. I'm so Yeah, I did not play Big Brother. I went in to have a good time, to meet people, and just to, in the best way possible, make a fool of myself. Yeah, I'm just very authentic, and there's no way I could have done something against it's just not who I am, and I didn't want to put on a face or have be a character that I wasn't. What, keep tabs on my freaking lies? No, I can't keep up with that stuff. No. So yeah, fun times.
Tell me about how your relationship with Kevin developed in the house.
Oh my God. Well, we just had a crazy physical attraction towards each other, and
from the start.
Yeah, it was pretty instant.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. You're in the same house, like doing the exact same things 24/7. You get really close really fast, like really like yeah. You start a relationship backwards, right? But yeah, it was pretty instant. We were really into each other, and we just kind of started flirting, having fun.
Like first week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First couple of days. No wasting time. We started making out, like kissing, making out. We were just having fun.
In the first week?
Oh, yeah. Right into it, yeah.
Were you not like super aware that there's cameras and shit? Were you just like, I don't give a fuck?
Well, think about it. If you go to the gym,
yeah.
Do you constantly think of the cameras?
No.
Exactly. You don't think about it. You're just living in a house. Yeah. Yeah, no. I knew because there's live feeds. Do you know what the live feeds are? Yeah. So I knew my family was watching, so I kept it. I mean, I try to keep it PG-13. I don't know how much that we didn't have sex. Let's just make that clear.
But it developed beyond kissing?
No, not really.
Okay.
No.
Not really?
I mean, no. We kept it clean. But yeah, I mean, we just kind of started. We from the beginning we were a showmance. So we were seen as a duo the entire game. And yeah, at one point they got rid of him because he was just protecting me. And yeah.
What happened there?
It was a triple eviction. It was the first ever triple eviction in Big Brother history. So one night, 3 people left the house.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually left in the triple as well. Or no, I didn't. No, he left in the triple. I left in the second, on a double eviction. But yeah, 7. He got 7th place. He was playing a really good game. He got evicted. He was broken. And then a week later, I went right after him.
How was that week without Kevin in the house?
It sucked, but because again, I wasn't really playing the game. I never studied any dates, and you need to know your dates. Like for the competitions, especially near the end, they're very like there are a lot of mental competitions, and like every dates you need to know when this happened. And I never did any studying. Like I just was having a good time in the house with my friends and my showmans. Silly me. Never studied once, and. So yeah, near the end, the house was so empty because there was only 5 guests remaining. And so it was just boring and I was exhausted and I missed him. I mean, I was with him all day, every day for how many days, right?
8 weeks, yeah.
So I really missed him. I was just over it. I was like, I knew I wasn't going to win Big Brother. If anything, I started playing for second place. Like someone was going to take me to finale to sit on the second place chair because everyone remaining in the house knew that they could beat me at that point, unless I had enough friends in the jury that would vote for me. But realistically speaking, I was playing for second place. So yeah, at that point I was like, screw it. Like I'm just over it. I didn't throw my game, but when I lost, like it was a silly calm that I had to go back to get more water to get the ball out, to get the ball to pop out of the container.
In one of the games, yeah.
I was on the block like by default because I had to, and I could have gone back. Like I could have won it, but I think just my subconscious was done. I was like, I want to go see my boyfriend. It's so pathetic because so many people would have died to be in that spot in the house at Final 5. Like I was so dang close to the finale night. So I sound very pathetic saying that, but that's just reality. That's just what I was thinking at 22 years old.
Mm-hmm. Are you trying to grow your business or brand, but often find there aren't enough hours in the week? Have you considered hiring a virtual assistant to help with all those tasks that you don't want to do that could easily be delegated? I'm talking about admin, accounting, digital marketing, social media, and much, much more. Well, our show sponsors Remote provide businesses, entrepreneurs, and social media influencers with the top virtual assistant talent in the Philippines. If you're curious but still sitting on the fence, why not use the referral code Bondi to trial a virtual assistant for 2 weeks for absolutely free. That's 2 weeks, absolutely free. All you have to do is go to the website www.remote.com.au/contact, enter your details, enter the referral code Bondi, and someone from Remote will be in touch. I've added the link to the Remote website in the Instagram bio, and there's also a link in the show notes. And if you're interested in sponsoring the podcast, please get in touch with us over Instagram. Cheers.
So we had Katie Williams on the podcast recently, and she was on...
Who?
Katie Williams. She was on the Australian Big Brother in 2021, and she told us on the podcast like all the things the producers would do just to fuck with you. They would like give you coffee, take it away, give you sugar, take it away. You don't know how much sleep you're getting. You don't know what time of day it is.
Never know.
Is that like same as the
to a T?
So like what stands out to you?
Yeah, they change the clocks all the time. So
there are clocks in there.
No just like the microwave, the oven, those type of clocks. Yeah, so they tell you to go to sleep. They shut the lights off in the bedrooms and turn them on. But the lights in the house, they're on and they're bright. So if you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, it's on. But so you'd really never know how long you're sleeping. So you wake up and you're exhausted. Like, how the heck am I so tired? And it's because you probably slept 3 hours, 4 hours. You don't know. Yeah, they did like, I mean, the time was a huge one. One time, or no, this didn't happen to us, but someone told me that one time in this slop bucket, you know what slop is? Can't tell you. Can't even tell you about slop.
No.
Oh dear. Do you know what a half knot is?
No.
Okay, so a slop is a mix of oatmeal with, don't even know what they...
Oh, this is like with the gruel
Yeah,
they give you
yeah.
for breakfast. Okay, yeah.
The what?
Gruel. Yeah.
Okay, so this is, yeah.
It's like oatmeal, water.
A really, really disgusting mix of, yeah. And when you're a half nut, so if you lose the game or... I don't even know why this is part of the show. It's so stupid. It doesn't do anything. It just makes people cranky, and I guess they won that. But yeah, it's a mix of disgusting stuff, and the production chose to put a berry on top of the bucket, and so one of the girls took it out of the pantry, and she was freaking out. She's like, "Oh my gosh, what does this mean? What does this mean?" What? So it's just like, you go into like, what day is it today? What day was the berry on top of the bucket? Like, you know what I mean? That's how your brain starts to work, because it must be part of a competition. Like, this must be something. So you start analyzing absolutely everything.
Fuck.
Yeah. There was a competition. This was really part of a competition. In the middle of the night, multiple times they would wake us up, and they would just play this show on the TV, on the screen. So we would have to wake up in the middle of the night, drag our feet downstairs, and watch it and pay attention, because that obviously was going to be part of a competition. Yeah. So it's really, this is how much I cared about Big Brother and winning, because it would be like, I don't even know what time, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. They wake us up, and on TV you can see I'm standing in the living room watching the show. My eyes are literally closed. I'm like this. I'm just not even. And there's this girl next to me like this, like studying, not missing a beat. It's just really, that's how much I cared. But yeah, they do that. And then the next day, the competition involves like, what was this person wearing? You know what I mean? Yeah.
And you're asleep. And you don't win the competition,
no,
and you're on the block.
No. And then I go home.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's crazy. You analyze absolutely everything, because everything could be a competition. Everything could be part of it, right? Like, you don't know.
Yeah. And even if it's like only 20% of those things are part of the competition, it's fucking with your head having to.
It's very psychological. Like it's insane. It's just, I don't even know I don't have a word to describe how it's incredible. It's a fun experience, but it's just, it's insane. It's insanity. It's not human. It's not like it's.
What was the most challenging thing about being in the house?
Being away from family.
Okay.
And the outside world. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I think that's what it, yeah. It's funny because you come out of the house and it's almost like you died and then you came back to life, because, oh, what movies are out now? Who's the freaking president? What song? You know, it's just, you just don't know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this happened when you were, like, my family did a cruise without me, obviously. And I'm like, what happened? You know, so it's like, oh, I was dead. Yeah.
Wow. So how was it then leaving the house? How did you feel?
When you got evicted? Or what do you mean?
Yeah. How did you feel when you left the house, when you got evicted?
I was relieved. I was just done with it. Like I said, I knew I wasn't going to win. I think I was just relieved. I got the experience. Yeah, I was done. Obviously, people are heartbroken. People are devastated. I think I'm in the minority, obviously. Like, I was just like done. I was excited to go see Kevin. Truth to be told, yeah.
Did you go see him right away?
Yeah, I went into the jury house.
Is that where he was?
The jury house, yeah. So the jury house, I think, how many people go into the jury house? I'm going to say 8. And those are the people who vote for the winner at the end. So yeah, he was in the jury house. So yeah, I went to see him and I was really excited. Young love. Don't ever fall in love in a reality show.
No.
Don't ever do that.
That can be the takeaway from this podcast episode. Did you guys...
I can't wait.
Yeah. Did you guys, like, officially start a relationship in the house? You actually had that.
I mean, we're a showmance.
You had that conversation in the house, like, do you want to be my boyfriend? Do you want to be? Yeah, I want to be your
in
girlfriend.
the house. Yeah, like I really like you. Let's like we're dating.
We're dating.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then we'll see where life takes us.
So, what was that like? Because obviously you're used to just dating within the confines of the house.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like outside of the house? Like in those early days?
I mean, I just feel like the transition from being on a show to being in the outside world is it can be very traumatic, and it's a big transition. And in the house, you're always told what to do, right? Like like someone is literally
Puppet master.
Yeah, literally. So going from that to you get to live your life and you have freedom and here's everything, and even grabbing your phone at the first time is like, oh my gosh, how do I type here? Like, it's so bizarre. Like, our brains just aren't used to it anymore. And so it was weird. It was really strange. And I mean, that's what our whole relationship was, right? We were bonded through so much trauma.
Trauma bond.
Mm-hmm.
Healthy.
Super healthy. Years of therapy. Years and years of therapy. Yeah, very, very healthy, huh? It ended quite well. So yeah, it's just, you just date, and obviously life is different. You get a little tiny bit of fame that lasts maybe a couple of weeks while the hype is going on, but that's really it. But yeah.
And how was dating Kevin outside the house then?
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, like I said, it wasn't fresh out of the house. It didn't really feel like real life. We were just partying a lot. We didn't have jobs. We didn't have anything going on. It was just like, we're the couple from Big Brother. Like, that was our life. It's so sad thinking back. We had fun, but it wasn't real life, you know? We were...
You were just enjoying your 15 minutes of fame, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Very unhealthy. I mean, thinking back, it's like, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. You were young. You were having fun. But, like, I can only imagine our parents, like, our poor parents, what we put them through. Like, I remember my dad, because I needed to go back to finish school. But I was obsessed with my relationship with Kevin. So I was like, I don't want to leave it. I don't want to leave his side, you know? And so I was like, okay, let's go back to school. Let's go back to real life. Like, let's go. Like, oh my gosh, my poor parents. I put them through hell. But yeah, I was just obsessed with him. Not in a good way.
What do you mean by that?
I was just obsessed with him. I was 22 years old. I was in love with this guy that we created a relationship from a show, and it carried for a long time. We did have pure love. Like, it was beautiful. It was wonderful, but it wasn't the healthiest. Like I said, we were bonded through the most amount of trauma, that it was our safe zone. It was our safety. We were each other's safety, and that's not healthy. So in Canada, he lived in the West Coast and I lived in the East Coast. So that's really far, like a 6-hour flight or something. 5 or 6. So, I mean, I was in the West. I didn't really have a job, so I kind of just, I mean, at this point, I lost my identity completely. Like, he was my identity, right?
You just like merged into this one entity.
I did.
Yeah.
I moved to his hometown. I kind of just gave up everything. I was like, no to my family, no to my friends in the East Coast. I was like, I am here because this is my life. This is my person. I don't care about anything else. Like, it's sad. And yeah, so we did some, like, the first time, because we spent about a couple of weeks together, or no, post show we spent a week together, again, like this. And like, I remember my brother flew into Toronto, where the show is filmed, to see me, and like my mom and my sister. And I remember very vividly, my brother comes to say hi Peter. I was like, hi, where's Kevin? Like, I was obsessed. Like, there was nothing, like, my life, I was seeing everything with like rose-colored glasses. It was just, where's Kevin? Right? Yeah. And so one week in, after that, we had to fly home. Like, let's go. Show's over. So we did long distance for, I don't even know how long the first time was. And obviously we were in touch every day, but it's like, no. So I flew to the West and I spent there, I don't even know how long, maybe a month. Like, I have no idea. I don't remember. But we partied, like all of us, and the whole, like, because there was a lot of people in the West Coast from the cast. So a ton of us just partied, and that was our dating life. Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. It was fun. It was fun when it lasted. Thinking back now, it's like, wow, what were we doing? Yeah.
Was there any care or mental health help for like contestants when they come out of the house? Was that offered?
I'm gonna say no. There is a psychologist and like this guy helping you out, talking you through things, but no. I mean, they're like, hey, how are you doing? Are you good? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Like,
sweet. I'm just gonna go back to this party. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it's not.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They definitely they should enforce that, because I feel like nowadays mental health is enforced bigger, and it's just
it's a bigger part of these reality TV shows and like the pastoral care.
It really messes with you. Big time.
I'll bet.
Look how messed up I am.
Mate, you're solid. So Kevin went back into the house in the Big Brother season 5. Were you guys still together at the time?
We weren't dating. We took a break, but we were still in touch. Like, we were.
It's like 2 years after the first show, yeah.
We took an 8-month break. We weren't like girlfriend and boyfriend, but we were technically kind of together. Like, I don't really know what we're doing. But yeah, I was his biggest cheerleader.
When he was in the show? Okay.
Yeah, I was always there. Always in his corner. Yeah, it was really hard to watch. Yeah.
What was hard about it?
Just everything. You know, when you watch someone that you love and then they're destroying him, they're talking crap about him, like they're just playing this, it's not easy.
So how did you react? Could you do or say anything? No.
No. I mean, what could you do, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's only so much you can do.
Okay.
But I didn't really play the game when I played, but I do still think that it was harder, from my perspective, it was harder to watch a loved one play the game than it was to play the game. Because at least you're unaware when people are talking crap about you. When you're actually watching everything and seeing it all, you're like, holy cow. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it was hard to watch.
It was hard to watch Kevin play the game.
It was.
Kevin won.
He won a relationship the first season. He won the cash the second season.
They got best of both worlds. So when he came out of the house then, what was it like for you guys?
So I went to see him the finale, and we kept hanging out, and eventually we went home. Like, he went home, I went home. We kept in touch, and I actually don't remember how this unfolded. But eventually eventually I think he came to the East Coast to visit one time, just like as a friend. And that's when he poured his heart at me, and he asked me to be his girlfriend. I was like, okay, if we're doing this, like, we had a break, so if we're doing this, like, this is it. Like, we're gonna marry. I'm not doing this again, and we did.
So Kevin proposed in 2021.
No. He didn't propose. No. No. He
proposed in 2021. Did he not?
No. No. Wait, did he? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he did. You're right.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Internet.
What a creep.
I saw a picture of you like this in the snow.
He did.
With a ring on your
yeah,
finger.
it was really freaking cold.
Yeah. So fill in the gap there then. So from him proposing in 2021 to you guys having that conversation.
So this conversation must have happened. When did he go back on season 5? 2017?
Yeah.
So yeah, he told me how much he wanted to be with me in the East Coast. So again, I kind of gave up my life to be with him, flew back to the West. We were together for a few years, got through COVID, And then shortly after COVID, we moved back to his hometown not his hometown, but in Calgary, Alberta. And so 2021, he asked me to marry him.
When did you guys get married?
We eloped 2022 because COVID was still a thing. And I have a really big family, so there was no way that we could get everyone together. So we eloped. We had a nice barbecue at his home with his family. He has a small family. And then last September 2023, that's soon, yeah, holy cow. We did our big wedding, like in Mexico. Big wedding dress, big party.
In September 2023?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 8 months ago? 9 months ago? 8 months ago. 9 months ago. What day is today? Is it May?
It's May 2024. So 9 months ago.
9 months ago. You're getting the story nice and fresh, Chris. How do you? How special, huh? Yeah, 9 months ago. We broke it. Sorry, 9 months ago. Yeah, we split 9 months ago.
No, you just said to me you had your big wedding 9 months ago.
Hold on.
Was that September 22?
Yeah, our wedding was September. We are in May 2024. No, then our wedding must have been 22.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
2021 proposal and then elopement later that year. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
2022 was our wedding. Yeah. Yeah, because we were married for less than a year. Officially, legally, we were married 2 years.
Yeah. From when you eloped?
Eloped, yeah.
Yeah.
Legally, yes. But we split September 2023, so 9 months ago.
Which leads me to my next question. Pili, why have you spent the last 4 months in Bali by yourself?
You tell me why, Chris. Healing. Getting over all this shit. All the pain. Bali's the most healing place you'll ever find.
Mm-hmm. You're not the first person on this podcast to say that.
Is that right?
That's right.
It is.
How did you know to go to Bali?
Well, I've always heard that Bali's, I mean, it's very, like, it's warm, it's very, whatchamacallit, there's a lot of wellness stuff going on, people are very health oriented. I've always kind of known that, just from friends going, and so we called the split September. Literally, shortly after that, I texted one of my good friends, I was like, what are you doing? Let's go away. I need to get the hell away from here. And so we made it happen in November. We came out, spent a week, and it was literally one of the best weeks of my life. It was incredible. The trip was amazing.
Just 1 week in Bali back in November. Okay.
And she packed it up. She planned the whole thing. So she had us. We did 5 waterfalls in one day. Like, we were busy. We had no breaks, but I loved it. And I remember we were walking one day after the gym, and I was like, holy cow, this is I wish I could live here. Like, I would love to be here. She's like, why don't you? I was like, good question. Fear of, don't know, the unknown, fear of change. And so I went home, and I was really sad to go back to Calgary. I was just like, I just didn't want to be there. It was getting like November, so snow, winter. I just wasn't really happy. And so while I was still in a high from Bali, I was like, I'm going to book a one-way. I'm getting out of here. So I did. January. Flew to Bali. Now I'm in Australia.
Now you're on the Bondi podcast.
I met Chris.
You met me in January, which was obviously a highlight.
January. And it was the highlight. It was the highlight of the trip. Sure.
Yeah.
We can say that.
Trip. So how did you feel getting on that flight in January to Bali?
I was so excited. Yeah. I was nervous.
Why nervous?
I was nervous because I was living a life behind. I was still really emotionally attached to Kevin, the life there. I don't know. I don't know if subconsciously I had hope. I don't know. I don't know what I was holding on to. But I was scary. But I was mostly excited. But it's funny because now, fast forward 4 months after that, I'm like, I can't wait to go home and sell everything. Like I'm done, you know? Like the emotional attachment has been done. And that shows a lot of growth.
Do you feel you needed that space?
100%.
To detach?
100%. I needed to create physical distance from him, stuff. Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Because while I was living in Calgary, I was still seeing him. We were still in touch a lot, and that wasn't helping. It was causing a lot of pain. Yeah. The physical distance has helped tremendously. Yeah, it was the best decision I've ever made to come to Bali.
What sort of things were you doing in Bali to sort of help with that healing process? There's obviously lots of things you can dip your toe into when you're over there.
Breath work was pretty powerful. I did a couple sessions of that. Never tried it before. It was interesting.
What came up?
Emotion. Just it takes me a while to get into that. I think you just go right in, huh?
I do. Yeah. Like screaming, crying, fucking everything.
No, nothing like that.
No, did you cry?
No.
Did you scream?
No.
What?
No.
Mate.
I think
You're missing out.
Yeah, you didn't do breath work.
You're missing out.
I know. There's a lot more into it. I think I used it more to calming down my nervous system a bit, meditation, thing like that. I did the work, but nothing really, really came out. I feel like I could do more of it, you know? I mean, I've only done 2 sessions. How many have you done?
Close to about 10, maybe.
Oh, shit, yeah, no.
The really intense ones, where like shit comes up,
Yeah, see, I haven't done any of those. I did something similar with my therapist back home in the States, and that happened. There's a lot of screaming and tears. That was a powerful session. But no, in Bali, I did some breath work. I think just being in the sun and in that warm weather, in the ocean, doing things that truly made me so happy and fulfill me, like trying surfing. Surfing was incredible. I loved that. That was one of my highlights. But just making a different life for myself, meeting people, just the whole experience overall, it was incredible. Very healing.
What have you learned about yourself over the past 4 months?
Oh, what did I learn about myself? Lots of things. One of the things is I care too much what people think. And I'm always trying to please people. I need to stop doing that. Always. Do you not do that?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
I've got better at not necessarily doing it the older I get, I think.
Yeah.
If it's, previously I maybe would have like done something I didn't want to do just to please other people. Yeah. And it's fine. I think that's fine to do in certain occasions and not necessarily all the time, because it just drains your own fucking energy at the end of the day. Yeah. So I think the older I've got, the better I've got at sort of checking in with myself and going, do I really want to do that? Is it a fuck yes? And if it's not a fuck yes, then it's a no.
That's a good point. So that's something that I've been getting good at.
But you were too much of a people pleaser? Where does that come from?
Just my background, the way I grew up, life. These are actually things that I'm still uncovering, peeling the layers with my therapist, with my current therapist. That's a big one. Caring too much people think, people's thoughts, and
good thing I got you on this podcast when I did. If I had it maybe another week down the line, you'd write, no fucking podcast. Yes. I'm not pleasing you.
I'm not pleasing you, Chris. I'm not doing it. And look at you. For shit's sakes. Why did I agree to this?
People pleaser.
I'm going to go back to her. She's going to ask me about it. She's going to yell at me.
You did what?
You did what the fuck? Why?
Did your therapist sound like that?
No. I wanted to do it, okay? I agreed to it. Eye roll. What was the question? I don't remember.
What did you learn about yourself?
What did I learn about myself?
People pleaser.
People pleaser. I learned to do more things that I love.
Like what?
Like not being scared. Stop being scared. Not let fear get in the way. That's what I learned. That's a big one. I don't know, just not just in life in general. I feel fear holds us back from obviously reaching our potential, but doing so many things that we want to do and we want to accomplish. And it's just fear, fear, fear. So don't let fear get in the way. Just do it. Just fucking do it. Being fearless.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So you're going back to Canada tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow night. Oh my God.
What stands out the most over the last 4 months?
This podcast.
Meeting me in the cafe in Bamboo in Bali.
Shut up. What if I said that, Chris? No.
Mate.
Just joking. Oh gosh, I don't know. What stands out? What's the most? What's so funny?
Just start laughing again. I think when you smile, I just start laughing.
When I'm smiling, you're still
No,
laughing?
because you're just like about to laugh, and I'm like,
Oh,
it just sets me
I see. Jesus. I made really good friendships. The friendships that I made, I think that's one of the biggest ones. Yeah, I love really, really cool people, and I feel like it doesn't matter where you're at, the people make it, the experience, right? So that was a big one. You're in there, Chris. You're in there. You've made the cut.
I was an OG
How
from
lucky.
January. I was like, I was one of the OGs.
I actually can't believe I met you
Yeah.
in January. That's 4 months ago.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. You were an OG. What else? I don't know what else. Yeah, the people, the lifestyle, just everything. Bali was incredible. I don't think I have one thing in particular. Surfing was one of my favorites. I love surfing. Am I good? No. I can stand up.
That's
That's
pretty
that's
good.
great.
That's
That's
pretty
all
good.
we need. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
just stand up, really. Just get up.
That's
Get
pretty
up
good,
and
mate.
you can go and compete. Catching waves is.
Yeah.
Have you ever done it? You've done it before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Incredible. It's
So
like
good.
the most freely and it's an unbelievable feeling. That was amazing. Surfing.
How good.
I love being in the ocean. Mm-hmm.
So what next?
Fuck, who knows? What's next for me? I'm gonna go home, but it's not really home.
Where is home?
My heart is home. I don't know where I don't really have a home, and that's actually pretty exciting because I get to be and live where I want. I can work from anywhere, so I have that freedom, and I know a lot of people don't have that, so I'm very lucky. I am going to go back to Canada. I have a lot of things to do there. Get things sorted, sell my stuff. I'm gonna sell my stuff.
Clean slate.
Clean slate, fresh start.
Love it.
Yeah, and then once that's done with, I'm gonna come back. I don't know if I'm gonna come back to Bali, Australia. I don't know. We'll see.
Have you got the Bondi bug? You've not really had the best weather, to be honest with you.
Say that again.
Have you got the Bondi bug, as in like the bug to come back to Bondi?
Oh, I see.
Has it like sucked you in?
I see.
Or because we've not had good weather the last few days?
Yeah, the weather's been kind of crappy.
Yeah, it's been shit.
But
Sorry about that. As the host of the Bondi
what the
podcast,
fuck?
I'll fucking apologize.
Fix it now. Make the sun come out. It's been crappy, but like it's kind of nice coming from such a like extreme heat and humidity. It's not that bad, but having this 24/7 for how long? For who knows how long? It's exhausting. It's sad. The weather's gloomy, but no, I really do like Bondi. It's you get the city, and then you get the ocean. So it's like you get best of both worlds. You know?
Yeah.
Cool people. How like the fitness industry is huge here, obviously. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff to it.
Pili, one thing we sort of skipped over, and you said at the very start, and I said we'd come back to it, and I've just only remembered now. So you said like kind of going on the show kind of like fucked you up, going on like so young, and you've mentioned there that you've been like you're working with a therapist.
Yeah.
Have you ever like delved into the impact of the show or going onto the show at such a young age? Have you ever delved in with a therapist or someone else on how that's actually impacted you?
No, but we're just actually diving into that now, like with my therapist. For a
So only 9 years later, are you actually delving into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Better late than never.
Exactly.
It's a good thing.
80 years old, still fucking dealing with trauma. Listen, it's actually interesting because, so it's been 9 years and I have been trying so hard to remove my identity to be Big Brother. Like, I don't want to be related with that. Not because it was a bad thing or a good thing. It's just, I just don't want people to be, are you Pili from Big Brother? No, I'm not. I'm Pili because I'm Pili. Like, I'm not, you know? I don't want to identify all the time with that. And I feel I've done a lot of things in the past 9 years that I have either been introduced as that or somehow, some way I've been connected to that, and I don't want that. And so when I first started with this new therapist, I didn't even bring it up because I was like, it's something that I don't obviously talk about unless I'm asked about it. Like, I don't relate myself with it. Definitely not anymore. Maybe like in the past, like, okay, well, because it was such a part of me, I guess. But anyway, trying to get away from it. So it's not something that I bring up, like, at all. It's like, oh yeah. Anyway, so with this new therapist, I didn't bring it up. And then recently I was like, because I forget, she asked me a question. Or maybe she asked me how I met my ex. Maybe that's
She probably wasn't expecting that answer, was she?
I actually don't remember why it was brought up, but I'm gonna assume that's what happened. And so I told, she's like, wait, what? And then, so it was a whole, she's like, you didn't think to bring this up? I'm like, no, because it's not part of, no. Like, yeah, like, it's still part of you. And obviously there's a lot of trauma that I have growing up, not from necessarily from Big Brother, but there are a lot of, like, being so exposed at such a young age on a reality show with so many different opinions and thoughts and everything. It's extremely dangerous for mental health. Like, it's not normal, you know, to go through. And I know I'm holding a lot of trauma, and that comes with my whole caring too much what people think and everything that has unfolded. It doesn't just come from that, but it has to do with it. It's a huge part of it. And I forget where I was going with this with this conversation.
Yeah, just unpacking it all with your therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Only coming around to doing it now.
I know what?
Only coming round to, like, unpacking
I see.
it with your therapist now.
Yeah, so I brought it up, and then so now we're starting to unpeel those layers. But and then,
and that's what's coming up, like the people pleasing and caring what people
all
think.
These trauma, and also completely losing my identity, because I mean, it's not like I didn't have an identity prior to the show, but Big Brother just took that over.
And then it got intertwined with Kevin's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I started living Kevin's life.
Yeah.
I gave up myself for him, which isn't good, obviously. So now I'm removing myself from that and just refining it again.
Yeah.
To be my own person. Yeah, because it's like, and I think that comes back to, I don't want to have any, not relationship, but like, I don't want to be this person from Big Brother. Like, I don't want to be related to that. I don't want that title to be attached to my name, you know, to my identity. And so now it's just working on finding my identity, finding who I am and why I'm the way I am.
Beautiful. Right, final question from me this evening, Pili, and thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
So when we first met each other back in January, we were both going through a bit of heartbreak at the same time, right?
That's why you bonded.
Yeah.
Bonded through trauma.
Trauma bond. Very healthy. Very healthy. Yeah, both going through like a bit of heartbreak. it was both pretty fresh for the both of us. I feel in a much better place like 4 months down the line. You seem like you're in a much better place like 4 months down the line.
Mm-hmm.
What like words of advice would you give to that version of Pili
4 months ago?
Maybe just a wee bit before that, like if the relationship broke down in September and October time, like that point in time.
Time heals everything. You have to give it time, and you have to work through things. You need to feel the pain to be able to fully move on from something. I mean, it was obviously very traumatic, and I'm trying to heal and move on from a life that I lived for almost 9 years. Like, that's almost most of my 20s, right? So obviously giving yourself some grace, but not numbing things, not suppressing feelings, or just distracting yourself to forget. Just feeling the pain is healthy, and it's the only way of healing. And but yeah, time does heal everything. Some days felt impossible. There was a lot of pain, and it's a type like heartbreak. It's a type of pain that you don't wish upon anyone. It's the worst. It's the worst of pain. And there's days that you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. There's days, there's obviously not suicidal thoughts by any means. But there's really dark times where you're like, how am I gonna make it through this? Or how am I supposed to find another person? Like there's so many thoughts that just go through your mind. And not positive necessarily, but you just make it. You build resilience, and the strength in you. You just keep going. Take care of yourself. That's actually the biggest thing that I did for myself. I knew I needed to focus on myself and just regain purpose. So, yeah, you just get in good shape mentally, physically, and you just keep fighting every single day.
Beautiful, mate. That's a great place to leave it. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been fucking brilliant.
Thanks for having me.